This is Mike Wall. Welcome back to another episode of the Agent Revolution podcast, the place where we deconstruct the biggest challenges facing today's real estate agents so that they can build a sustainable, profitable, and most of all, fulfilling real estate business. Our mission is to build a community of well-informed agents and investors who better serve their clients. What a topic I got for you today. Hey, everybody wants to be happy, right? Today we're talking to the happiness doctor himself, Dr. Hank Seitz. He's going to share with you some practical strategies for living a happier life in this chaotic world of real estate. But before we do that, make sure and book your free 30-minute business strategy call at meetmikewall.com. Yo, Doc, you ready to rock?
Yo, I am, Mike. Let's do it,
man. I love it, man. We're bringing some energy today. Man, and you know, this is one of my favorite topics. I've always been a mindset guy. I believe one of the biggest disconnects in our industry is the fact that people they're teaching skill set over mindset, because we got a bunch of skilled agents with the wrong mindset. They don't have the applicable mindset to be able to strategically use those to convert leads and have a better business. And so we need to reverse the order of those things. We need to start teaching mindset, then skill set. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about the mind. In fact, all of science, Mike, has agreed that we have the first step to anything that we want to create in our life, and this is quantum physicists, molecular biologists, they've all agreed in the last 5 years that it all starts with our thought. And so thought's definitely number one. Yesterday I was talking to an agent, and the agent was saying, I've gotten this coaching and I got these lead programs and I do everything. And I got the right mindset, they said. And they had the right mindset because they were reading some good books and everything. And then I said, well, what's the issue? And they go, well, I mean, there aren't any clients around, and there's no inventory around it. I have nobody to speak to. And I said, well, I know what your problem is, that you're talking, and whatever we speak, and I think your audience, everybody, you're going to love this, that whatever we focus our attention on grows. Yeah. And so and I would really suggest that we all, write that down, because to understand wherever you focus your attention on grows. So if you start saying, hey, there's not enough inventory, it's your prayer, if you will. And so our prayers are our every moment thought. It's not just, our prayers are when we're on our hands and knees and our hands folded, that it is when we are in every moment when we are thinking. So think about, like today, each one of us to think about, what have I primarily been thinking about? Mm-hmm. And so most of us say, well, no, this is real. I'm looking at what is, what's happening in my life, and we say this is real. But the fact is that all we're looking at is what we were thinking previously that came into manifestation right now in our life. Mm-hmm. So one of the quotes I'm famous for, I've written 15 books and whatever, and one of the quotes, though, is that I never face reality. And because we've been told, throughout our lives, come on now, you face reality. Yeah. And I said, there's no way I'm going to face reality. I'm going to create it. Yeah, that's the key, and we create it with our thoughts. And so it's these general thoughts, and I even know how to get into the kingdom within our subconscious mind to be able to improve those beliefs that we have, because it's done unto us as we believe. Yeah. And the fact is that our beliefs have come from our conscious mind. And so I love bringing up the subject money. Yeah. That most of us, think of the relationship. If you think of money as a being and the relationship that we have, how many times have people said, if you and I are trying to build a relationship, and, you say to me, hey, Dr. Hank, you've been missing, man. And, and there's not enough of you, right? Well, that's what we've been doing with money, is we've been saying to money that, hey, you're missing. Where are you? There's not enough of you. And so we need to change our perception and the way that we are thinking. And when we change our thoughts, we'll change our lives.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we're talking about this, because, again, it's like, I'm a big study into Stoicism. I love Marcus Aurelius's meditations. I love the fact that, I'm a firm believer that, we create our own destiny. And, when you start when you start giving people that control back, there's some peace of mind in that, to think that, I've been letting all these events control me. I've been letting other people's behaviors control me my entire life, when in reality, it wasn't those things, it wasn't those events, it was my judgment of those events that really created, that anxiety and stress. And to know that I now have control over that, I can have a thought before I release that emotion or reaction, because I know now that exists. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sure does. And see, and the beauty is that we have the freedom to choose. And what you just shared there, Mike, is just, really, I think the word is relief. What relief to know that we actually can control it. And a great example of that is just about a year ago, this pandemic happened.
Yeah.
And so I told my agents that, and I have agents all over that I coach with, whatever, in all over the United States. And I shared with them that all this is, if you will just take it easy, take a broader perspective, and realize that this is just change. It's a big, heavy change. Pandemic, the protests and reform, which I've been in the middle of helping with all of that. And so if we just look at, there's lots of change. Well, what comes with change? And again, like you say, it's just how are you going to look at this? Well, the way we looked at it was change brings opportunities. Yeah. And so now we say, oh my God, we got big opportunities here. So there are literally, I helped many people become millionaires in the last year because they took and they looked at, this is not something to be afraid of. This is something to look forward to, of the opportunities.
Yeah.
And when you do it that way, it's all a matter of perspective. And it really goes to this, that every particle in the universe is wanted or unwanted. Every thought that we have, every subject there is, you can have either the wanted or the unwanted. And so, for example, money, it's root of all evil, that the filthy rich, that you're not around, you're not enough, or money gives me more freedom. Money gives me, so the wanted about money, money gives me more choices and more variety. And so as we change our thinking to the wanted about everything, the world will change for us, Mike.
Right. You know what's so interesting about that too is, if we have to talk about how to be happy, we have to talk about what makes us unhappy, right? Yeah. And typically what I find makes us unhappy is our expectations, right? It's always our expectations of how something should go or how someone treats you, right? Because and what that's basically saying is your happiness is predicated on a result. Yeah. And so that's saying that you're giving that control away again when you do that. When you don't, because then you're not you can choose to be happy in any moment, no matter what's going on.
There you go.
And Dr. Viktor Frankl, he wrote the book, when he was in the Nazi concentration camp, mm-hmm. and he would talk about the way people, their mindsets would eventually kill them. It was crazy, yeah. Like people that had this just horrific view, which was a horrific event, by the way, obviously. Yeah. But the people that had a different view on it, like some people could put a positive spin on such a horrific event, and those people would do better, they would live longer. And so there's something to that whole, like the way your outlook on life or your expectations provides the seed for a better lifestyle, a better outlook, a better energy about you, and you attract then those things into your life.
You bet.
How can you expand upon that?
Yeah. First of all, and I love your example, and I actually have a personal example of, I'm a Vietnam veteran, and I know a peer of mine, if you will, that actually was in a North Vietnam prison camp. Yeah. And he was there for almost a year. And so a lot of people died around him, and other patriots, if you will, that died around him. But he just started to visualize and imagine on how he was in Las Vegas, of all places. He was in a big limo, and he was just having a fun time and a beautiful girl next to him. And he just imagined it. And so every day he would just get lost into that imagining. Well, by the grace of God, he was like a 10% kind of survived that, if you will, and ended up coming back home. And within less than 6 months, he was in Vegas in this limo with this wonderful lady who he fell in love with. And it's just as he imagined.
Yeah.
And that's how powerful that we are. Now, specific to your question, though, on looking at that here's a good way for all of us to start using some techniques, if you will, on how to do it. First of all, the easiest way to start getting connected, if you will, and connected with what? With God, with our higher self, with our higher power, our higher love, however you want to look at that universe, whatever that, but I'll use God for this, and so in the Bible, I'm also an ordained minister. And so in the Bible, every time it says spirit, spirit means breath. And I went to 4 years of school on this. That's one of the key highlights that I got. Spirit meant breath. And the fastest way for us to connect with God is through our breath. But it's deep breathing. So all of us, what happens when we have some scary thing? We go, huh? And we stop breathing. Well, don't be doing that anymore. Yeah. That it's this breathing, deep breathing, 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. And that's 10 seconds altogether, the in and out. And if you do that for 6 times, so about a minute, you will start getting wonderful thoughts about any situation. If a deal went south, you were talking about, bad stuff happens and it actually can be looked at good. Well, everything is a blessing. So for example, if we didn't have enough business, it wouldn't birth thoughts about having a better business. So we just would all kind of be there, if you will. But what we're able to do is we're able to put the eternity into us and God and everything else by we expand our thoughts and our feelings through our contrast of the things that we don't want. So when you start blessing, like if you have been divorced, then bless your ex. That like if you're looking at anything, and I'll use the ex as an example, if you look at the ex and say, oh, I just hate them and they're terrible, what you're doing is your subconscious mind doesn't recognize there's any other people but you. So when you say, I hate that person, it goes right back to you and I hate me. And that's why many people have low self-esteem because of the way and they're not confident, etc. So all of this will increase your confidence, will increase your business, and will increase your happiness. So to be happy, it's right in this moment, and to look for not so much the good or the bad, but to look for the wanted. On what do you want? What do you like? What do you desire? And as you look, what's the good in this? And you will see that you will find the good and you'll be off and on your, as I call, walking down a path, a joyous corridor with the doors of abundance swinging wide open.
I love it. I love it, man. So let's do some real world application, man. So I mean, obviously we can walk into an agent's world relatively quickly. We know, some of the worst things that can happen in an agent's world, obviously, as a deal falls through in the 11th hour, or, you schedule a listing appointment and the client doesn't show up. So let's just walk through that though really quickly. Let's say that, for instance, let's say you schedule a showing on your listing. You're meeting a buyer there to show them the property, and they don't show up. You're calling. You can't get them to answer the phone. You've already had your seller clean their house. They've taken 2 hours to get it perfectly prepared for you to come in and show your buyer, and the person just doesn't show up. What do
You
you do, Dr. Hank?
You bet. You bet. And it's a great example. And I'm going to even make this a little bit broader as far as let's take in the morning. First thing in the morning, what I do is I help people. We're all creators, okay? But I help people to be deliberate co-creators.
Yeah.
And so to become deliberate. So it's too late. It's kind of like the examples you gave. It's too damn late that it's kind of like you're a parachutist. Okay, you're in the plane and you jump out of the plane, and as you're flying out, you think, darn, I forgot one thing.
The parachute.
And hang on, it'll be over soon.
Yeah.
So that's how most people are, is they just jump out of the plane without a parachute on all of this. So what I call this is to prepave, Prepave. And this is where we start to prepave our day, our life, the way that we want it. And again, I would suggest that you all, take notes on this. The first thing that you prepave is your life, and you can as easily say this, that I desire a long, happy, healthy, wealthy life. So you need to be intentional. Otherwise, you get life by default. And it might be a good day, might be a bad day. Yeah. And so in your example, that in the morning then, I have a listing appointment. And so what I don't say is gee, I hope they don't show up, because that's the energy of them not showing up. Yeah. So you have to take that out of the equation, and you just go into the assumptive mode on, man, we have a great listing together. We get along so well, presentation, that my listing presentation is just so great, or my showing is just so wonderful that they like me, I like them, we laugh together, we enjoy ourselves. Don't get real specific on, they're going to sign the listing agreement. Rather, keep it more general, that our analytical minds, our smaller self, is only to be used for two reasons: to identify what we want based on the contrast of the things that we didn't like, what we want, and why we want it. Yeah. What we are not here to do is figure out the how. That's God's job. God will give you the how. So if you just think about, wow, I just love them, what a great time I'm going to have with them, that we're going to laugh together, get along well together, they're going to really trust me, that we're going to start a really good friendship here. And so when you stay general like that, instead of, they're going to, say yes right away or whatever, again, you're getting too specific. But by you saying all those things about you're getting along great and everything, do you think you're going to get the listing? Absolutely. Are they going to show up? Absolutely. So to be very deliberate, even in your travel. So don't say, gee, I hope there isn't a lot of traffic. It attracts traffic. So what we do say is, my travels, I don't even say the word traffic. Today, my travels are smooth, easy, and enjoyable. Well, if they're smooth, easy, and enjoyable, you're not getting into a car accident, okay? You didn't attract those type of things. You're not going to get into traffic, but we have to be deliberate. So a great one on our businesses, very practically, is I love on how my business is growing more and more each day. I love how I attract out of the blue clients, okay? Today, just an example, see, I love money. I have fallen in love with money. That in the Bible says the root of all evil is money. Actually, the whole paragraph is talking about everything comes from God, and that as long as you know that, believe that, then money is fine. Because back in Christ's time, that one way to measure wealth was sheep. Well, hell, if I have carrying around a sheep under my arm, certainly that sheep isn't the root of all evil. And so because of that what we do is we start recognizing that, hey, money is this beautiful, loving energy, an angelic energy, if you will, that provides us more freedom, more choices, more variety. So like today, I asked for big, happy surprises today. And just think, let's think to ourselves, did we ask for that or anything close to that today? Most of us are looking at protection. Gee, I hope I don't get sick. Brings on sickness. I hope there's a traffic. I hope the deal doesn't go south. I hope I don't lose a deal. I hope they show up. And whenever I say any of that stuff, I'm actually attracting it to my life. But when we start saying, hey, it's going to be a great day, and I ask for big, happy surprises, I ask for miracles of prosperity, this is the type of thinking that will bring you to all the wealth, health, and success that you want, Mike.
Yeah, man, it's great. So basically what you're saying is you're if you've gotten to the point to where you're at the showing and the buyer's not showing up, that's jumping without the parachute, right? The preparation comes maybe that morning when you get out of bed, right? And you sit down to write down your goals, when you sit down to meditate, when you sit down to read scripture, when you get your mind right and you're preparing when you're preparing for the day. And by the way, that anybody that's not doing that, I would highly, highly recommend. It's one of the easiest things you can do is get out of bed early. I get out of bed every single day at 5 a.m. I have the exact same morning every single morning. I get out, I brew some coffee. I drink the same drink. It's a drink with filtered water.
Yeah.
I eat a scoop of Manuka honey. I put apple cider vinegar. I put squeezed organic lemon juice and cayenne pepper.
Yeah.
And then sea salt into a drink, shake it up, and I drink that. So I prepare my gut for digestion every day, right? Beautiful. And then I sit down. Yeah. I have a Bible app on my phone, and I whatever they deliver the story right into my phone every single day. So I do that. Yeah. I have an app called Win Streak where I go in and write my goals down, and it's just really good, healthy self-talk. Yeah. And then I hit the gym. It's the same thing every single day. And again, it doesn't require a college degree. It doesn't require, you don't have to be a millionaire to do any of this stuff. This is just stuff that's really easy to direct and do. But I'll tell you what, it is life-changing. If you set your day up that way, you've got control of the day. The day does not control you at that point.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, one of the things that in my teaching that I have is I call it a joy shop. In fact, I'd be willing to give this to, so if any of you want this joy shop, my cell phone, and just text me at 214-753-7204. Again, 214-753-7204, and text me for the Joy Shop, and I'll send you the Joy Shop. But what it is where you read this Joy Shop, and it raises your vibration, which raises your point of attraction. What I like looking at this is for us to feel better and better, that raises us and gets us closer to God and gives us all the answers that we want. So you do this Joy Shop, and then you write down 3 different things: your desires, what you appreciate, and then the final one, prepaving your day, like we talked about earlier. And you will see literally within a couple of days, your life change just by doing that Joy Shop. Yeah. So your habit that you have, see, you're already in a habit. It's not work. It's easy. It's not sacrifice. None of that. We don't need to do any of that. That we just need to feel good. And in fact, I want to, if I can, share about what is our communication with our higher power, with God, that what is our communication? And so it kind of went like this, that so we're thinking about coming, we can't wait to get back, get to Earth, okay? And this beautiful world that has everything we want and everything we don't want. And the don't want helps birth what we want. And that's why you can ask for anything and God will make more of it. So there's no lack, no limitation at all. It's an abundant world that we live in. And so we look up at God, we're in God's arms, and we say, now, God, I can't wait to get back to this beautiful, beautiful world. And tell me, though, how will we communicate? Will it be English or Spanish? Or, how do we? And God laughs and says, oh, no, my dear child, I love you so. I wouldn't use such an inefficient way to communicate. Instead, I'm going to have the perfect way to communicate with you, and it's through every moment of every day, and it's through your feelings. When you feel bad, that means you're not thinking about this situation, the subject, this whatever you're thinking about, the way that I am. But when you feel good, You're on your lighted path. You're walking down that corridor of joy with the doors of abundance opening wide because you are thinking like I do. So the whole key to all of life is to feel good. And so in the morning, the first thing in the morning, ask today, I want to have better feeling thoughts and I want to feel good. And if you'll do those two things and ask and you shall receive, ask for those two things and that they shall be delivered to you. In fact, all of our prayers are answered. It's just literally that God receives them and answered it, but it's in vibrational form. And what I do is I help take that vibration from God and be able to manifest it in people's lives.
Yeah. I love that, man. If you've got time, I'd like to do just a quick little bonus segment on overcoming fear, especially as it relates to lead generation or reluctancy. What are your thoughts on that?
You bet. First of all, that lead generation, that if you're going to be doing cold calling or whatever and you don't feel good about it, I don't want you to do it. I have some amazing lead programs that you can contact me again about, that new home builders, first responders. It's all about building relationships and, connecting. So know that, Zillow isn't necessarily the name of the game, but fear for sure is the name of the game. So I'm going to go out a little here, Mike, and share with you that there's an archangel called Michael. And Archangel Michael, his whole purpose is to rid humanity of fear. So the one thing that prevents us from doing everything that we want is our fear. And the fear is unseen. You can't see the fear that you have. You're just thinking it. It's the unseen. And it's also fear is the second strongest energy power in the whole universe. So fear is really, really up there as far as it can start manifesting all kinds of fears for you. The good news is that Archangel Michael again, and I do work with people to help them to call in Archangel Michael, but his whole purpose, or let's just keep it, your purpose is rid yourself of fear, release your fear, and ask for love to come in, and ask to be filled by love. When you're in love, there's nothing to fear. The number one fear in America is public speaking. You know why? Because most of it, over and above death, that most of us have been told, don't talk to strangers when we were young. So we have this belief that strangers are bad. Well, hell, if I'm going to publicly speak, they're all strangers and I'm not supposed to be talking to them because why? They're going to give us some candy, but see, our parents or whoever, they, were protecting us from something that was the exception. Okay. It's not the norm and so when you realize that, this is just my beliefs. And so there's a way to tap into your beliefs, into your subconscious mind. And so all of your fears come from your false beliefs, your beliefs that don't serve you. Now, let me help you on understanding where your beliefs are. You have your conscious mind and you have your subconscious mind. And in Matthew 17, it says, when the two of you agree, it'll be manifested. What that means, that two people, when your conscious mind and your subconscious mind agree. So your conscious mind has been telling your subconscious mind, it's the ruler, the conscious mind is the boss, the master, and the servant is the subconscious mind. So again, I'll use the example of money. So what have we said to money? Money is no good, money. And then we look at, rich people that are bad or whatever. And we say, I don't want money and root all evil and everything. So we have these beliefs. So you can go, Mike, for a million times, you can say, I am wealthy, and you'll never be wealthy because your conscious mind is saying, I am wealthy. And your subconscious mind says, listen, for all of your life, you've been saying these things. There's not enough of me, that it's filthy. It doesn't grow on trees. I was brought up I lived in Florida for a while, and there's billions of dollars worth of growing on trees, grapefruit and oranges. Yeah. Okay, so there is. But so what happens is that your subconscious mind forms an opinion about every subject under the sun based on what you have said from the time you were conceived. And so thus, those opinions are called beliefs. So most people, I'm also a behavioral psychologist, so most of my peers, they'll put you on a couch and say, let's dig up the problem. And there's no end to that. They'll keep on charging you forever. What I do is I'm able to overcome those beliefs, those fears that we have. Fear is simply false evidence appearing real. And for us to realize that these fears aren't real, it's just in our head, in our committee, what I call our committee, and that we can actually, and so I have a way to tap into that subconscious to go around those misbeliefs and start forming new beliefs. And so it's like you become the light, and all that fear is simply shadows where you shine your light on them and they go away. And so those fears, and so let me get more practical because I know it's a little blue sky there. So I had an agent that was afraid of speaking to her clients. And the reason why is when she was little, whatever, that her dad had clients and it was, don't speak to those clients, just keep your mouth shut and you should be seen and, not heard and everything. And then I helped her to overcome those beliefs by simply thinking about these people put on their pants like I do, okay? These are just regular people, and you're here to serve them, to love them, that they could be your best friend. And so simply by changing your mindset about, like the prospect and, I'll lose the job, if you're thinking about losing the deal again, you will. So what you do is you just start thinking differently, and literally, you can overcome all of those fears and be able to do it. In fact, I wrote one of my books is Your GPS to Success, and it's 5 steps for real estate agents' prosperity. And in that, number one step is this mindset. And if you only think about what you want, you can only get what you want. But here's what most people are. If you can't be thinking about what you don't want and get what you want. And so if you let that sink in a little, you say, oh my goodness, all I need to do is awaken to my magnificence, to the amazing deliberate creator that I am, co-creator that I am, that I have the ability to be, do, and have any and everything that I want. And it's as simple as I'm going to focus and think about what I want, and then I'm going to get what I want.
Yeah. And do you think most people get what they want because what's the best way to phrase this? Do you think most people think about what they don't want and that's what they get? Is that what happens? Why? So why is that though? Why do most people think about what they don't want? Where does that come from? Where's that born?
We've actually been brought up with it. And so if you'll go to your grandparents, they're telling you, watch out for this, guard yourself from this, watch out from strangers. You can't fail that course. You have to have college, all this stuff.
So it's social conditioning, basically, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah. And we end up in this. And that's why your listeners right now, I know some of you are awakening to this and realizing, man, I got some beliefs and I was told some stuff that isn't right and I have the power to change it. And you do. Yeah. And it's easy. That's the other thing is this is all easy. It's just this thought right now. What am I going to think about? Am I going to think about my business growing? And stay general. That's a good rule of thumb, Mike, is for us to stay general. Don't say, I'm going to have, 20 million this year. That, just be easy on yourself. Hey, my business is going to grow more now. That I'm going to get more referrals. That I love that I'm more confident. And just start saying these glorious and wonderful things. I help people manifest money, and literally they'll manifest it after I get off the phone with them because it's all all our relationship with money. And when you start falling in love with money, then you'll see that money really, it's this divine energy, angelic energy from God that comes. And that money is so beautiful and is such a blessing. It can help charities, your church, your family, it can help you. And it's all a matter of our attitude. And we just got to get rid of, and that's a great one on, most people think this money is, I really can't be saying I'm going to fall in love with it, because the Bible said, that the root of all evil is, and it's the love of money, that it's misinterpreted. It's that everything comes from God, and then you can love God's energy of angels, which one of them is money.
Yeah. And it's really more so the idolization of money, right? That God was talking about too.
Yeah.
And here's one reality that I know to be true, just because it's happened in my life, is the fact that, when I shifted my focus from money to like my clients, like adding value into my clients' world, obviously I'm in real estate, and when I stopped chasing money and started delivering value, chasing something is a negative connotation, right? Why not attract something, right? And so the way, when I stopped chasing money and I started to deliver value, when I started to give, then the money showed up as a byproduct of the giving, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's this all just with heart, just go out and love that. So, and here's what's happening, what happens when you're looking at a person, you're thinking, oh, I get money from them. You have distorted the whole relationship between the people together. It's about the heart together. It's about the love. On a separate topic is money, and hey, I love money and let it come. And then you will see that then you're even more free to really love people and to give to people. Like this first responders, we literally give thousands of dollars to, every week we're giving thousands of dollars to first responders, and we're making lots of money from it. Okay, but see, it comes from, it's the heart. Where is your heart at? It's not about the money. It's about, I love money and give me more money. But with that first responder, it's about helping that first responder find their American dream. In fact, we help them with career opportunities in real estate. We help them do the American dream. And really, there's two American dreams. One for other people, the American dream of owning the home, the American dream of owning your own business. And us agents, for us to start looking at our business as, it is a business, and then to just pour your love into that business, into your business, and into all the people that you meet. So I teach basically, just connect with people. Don't say, hey, do you know anybody to get a referral? Don't say any of that stuff. That they know you're an agent, that when you become top of mind and top of heart with other people, that they will actually attract your clients and give you referrals, and you're done selling, and the life becomes easy and blissful.
If I had a mic right now, I would drop it, my friend. What a great way to end the show. And we are up against the clock here, but I do want to definitely give you just a moment to tell the audience how to connect with you, my friend.
Sure, you bet. Well, again, best way, just text me, call me, whatever, 214-753-7204. If you want to email me, drhank@drhank.biz, that I do coaching. In fact, I hadn't done coaching for a while until COVID hit. And then I basically was told by God, hey, people need your help, and they really need to get that right mindset. So I started coaching. I have that GPS to your success, where we have mindset coaching for real estate agents specific, lead programs, the training, ways to build your income and your wealth. It's just all fascinating and fun. Most agents, like, for example, you can get you pay $2,500 on your mortgage, on mortgages that you do, that legally you can do it. And so all of those type of things, agents are taking advantage of about 75% of the income that is available to them. So, and then you can connect with me at drhank Seitz Seitz, and I'm on Facebook and all the social media. But would love, I do a weekly inspiration every Sunday, and so if you want that or any of my different programs that we have, would love to share it with all of you.
Well, Dr. Hank, I'm so appreciative for you taking this time out of your day. I know you were a busy man, but I also know you are an abundance guy and you love to give and you love to share. And I love sharing these stories as well week after week, because this show is literally changing agents' financial lives, my own included. Do me a big favor. If you know someone that might enjoy the podcast, please share it with them. And if you like the podcast, please go to wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review. Don't forget to visit MikeWallLive.com, where you can get 8 hours of absolutely free real estate business training. Dr. Hank, thanks so much, man. It was a pleasure.
Mike, pleasure is mine. And to all of you, God bless you. Know that everything that you want is coming your way.
Love it. Signing off. Thank you so much.